Hey, what's up guys, it's Sayak. Let's get into some recycling stuff. So we finally have the iPhone 10 and not the X, and the almost unexpected 8 and 8 Plus. So these devices were really hyped about, and part of the release, 50% of this was already leaked, iPhone 10, and the 50% of it was already kind of unexpected. So despite of being the latest smartphones from Apple, I feel these devices are kind of old. Now, why are they kind of old? It's just me, but I feel like that. Now, for some time, it's been a vortex for Apple, and we know that Apple is also known for doing kind of things first of its kind, and for the most part, it is just lagging behind and incorporating features into their phones which were released way before, and then just include them in the devices when they are settled and in a more refined manner. Now, definitely that's true, but in the second case, when Apple includes like the old features, it feels sometimes, and especially with this one, that it's just and might be an excuse that Apple try to do when they fail in something. Okay, so let's start with the very first thing, the feature that was highlighted the most in the Apple event, that is the Face ID instead of the fingerprint sensor. So they are calling it to be the future, so we have to forget all those fingerprint sensors that we use. This kind of is an irony because they are promoting the facial recognition as the future of protection, but yet they are including the fingerprint sensor on their latest models, the iPhone 8, the iPhone 8 Plus, the MacBook Pro 2017 has the Touch ID, so kind of an irony. But okay, in a very first attempt that Apple showed the demo of the facial recognition, they fell apart. But yeah, they gave an official explanation to the thing that happened, and that kind of makes perfect sense. But facial recognition was a feature back then in Android 4, and therefore it's nothing special and new. But I definitely don't know how it's gonna be, but the actual technology used in the Face ID that Apple has shown is surely meant to be really good. But definitely the real world usage would prove everything out of the box. This should not be a problem because this is the matter for which Apple took so much time to implement. But definitely I don't think that Face ID is the future. Rather, the Touch ID underneath the screen is definitely the future ahead. Instead, this might be because they could not implement the Touch ID underneath the screen on time. So, number 2, the bezel-less design. It's definitely not old. Well, it is old, right? We have been seeing bezel-less designs from other companies for now a couple of years maybe, and in their own terms, but definitely the bezel-less design is not a new thing. With the OLED display, it's been for a long time. Even budget smartphones have OLED, AMOLED, Super AMOLED displays, and it's definitely a new thing for iOS users. Number 3, AR, augmented reality. Definitely it's not new again. There have been just dedicated phones out there for augmented reality. Number 4, wireless charging and fast charging. Fast charging, come on, it's 2017. Even some of the budget phones have fast charging nowadays. And definitely wireless charging, an iPhone, fast charging, it's pretty late for Apple, but ultimately they have it. The wireless charging is of G standard and they call it to be better than any other wireless charging. I don't know why they call it, and I cannot recognize how it can be better than other phones. But I don't know, it's better to have a wireless charging. And number 5, the most interesting and might be the most jumbled feature are those gestures out there for like swiping up from the bottom of the screen to get to the home, and swiping up halfway to get recent apps, and then swiping down from the middle of the screen to get to the notification center, and to get to the toggle center, action center, you have to swipe down from like the right corner of the screen. These were features again back then when it was for Android with light skins. Like this is my phone, okay, this is the Zenfone C Asus. It's running on KitKat 4.0, and this also had features like that. I don't think it's a much more clean experience that Apple users used to have with their iPhones. It's more of a complicated thing, and this phone is definitely not a one-handed device. So it's going to be really a stretch for people using these gestures. So definitely overall the new release of the iPhone, not X but 10, is extremely new, packed with new features for only Apple users who have never been to Android, because all the things that I've talked about in this and Apple has highlighted in their Apple event are extremely old. The iPhone 8 and the iPhone 8 Plus. Definitely it's kind of, till date, the release of the iPhone 8 and iPhone 8 Plus has been one of the oldest and old school type of things, because it's just a spec bump. Avoid just getting off the wireless charging and the fast charging on their phones. It's just that. It's just so old. I mean, why? It's so boring. Let's just get off it. I don't want to put too much talk into that, but it's just wireless charging, fast charging, and a little bit of camera improvements might be on the iPhone 8 and the 8 Plus. That's just it. And Apple has put into a new model of 2017. So, okay, fine. That's it for now. Now on, it's like cheaper phones are getting better, but better phones are not getting cheaper actually. So what are your thoughts about the iPhone 10, not X? It costs $1,000. Would you be buying it without having any kind of reviews before reviews? So definitely wait for it. I'll recommend to wait for reviews from other channels. Definitely I can do that because I'm not going to get a hands-on with that one. And the iPhone 8 and the 8 Plus are just like the 7 Plus. It's just a spec bump, so you can be sure about that as well. So what are your thoughts about the new release from Apple? Let me know in the comments below. And until then, subscribe to my channel to get more videos like this twice a week. And I'll catch you in the next one.